This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. It really, I totally missed this until last night, and I saw a headline that it was getting ready to start, and I don't know why. Maybe I just mind blocked it out because it's just become so, in some aspects, political, and I don't know, just have been turned off by it, maybe by some of the things that have taken place. But the ESPYs were last night. Okay. And I bring this up only because
I would have lost all the money in my pocket because I would have had no idea when those were.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty traditional. It happens. I
think the very first year I was super stoked about it. Really interested in,
and that lasted about 2 minutes.
No, I think I was excited the whole time. I'm as anti anything. I will turn on ESPN all day long to watch live sports. Okay, all day long. But the slant that ESPN just portrays in everything that they do drives me nuts. So I would never watch a show like the ESPYs now.
Yeah, and I didn't watch any of it. But what caught my eye, and the reason that truly the only reason I bring this up is because of one of the honorees last night, and and this happens with athletes when they're done playing and they kind of drop off the radar if they're not in your town, or you weren't necessarily a big fan of them, or I mean, I admired what he accomplished and what he was able to do, but last night Jim Abbott received the Jimmy V Award for perseverance.
That's cool.
Yeah, and Abbott said this in the article. He said, "To be here, to be included, to be in this room means the world to me." And he said, "To be included." And if you don't know Jim Abbott's story, he was born without a right hand and pitched 10 years in Major League Baseball. He was selected 8th overall in the 1988 draft by the Angels. I don't know what their name was then. It could have been the California Angels, the Los Angeles Angels.
I would guess California.
Yeah, that's kind of what I would have thought too. But he spent time with the Angels, the Yankees, the White Sox, and the Brewers. He threw a no-hitter for the Yankees, and this is a guy that did not let his physical handicap become a handicap, and so I have a lot of, and I think 99.9% of the people in the world would have a lot of admiration for somebody that overcame what he overcame. And Abbott said, "Being born this way, I knew what it was like to be different. I knew what it was like to be on the outside looking in. I knew what it was like to want to prove yourself and be on a team. And of all the great blessings that sports have given me, that sense of belonging is the best." So good for them for honoring him. And he was introduced, and I don't know if it was. I'm going to assume it was recorded. But Justin Verlander did the introduction and gave a tribute to what he witnessed with Jim Abbott and his perseverance. So that's cool. So that particular award is usually goes to someone that has overcome something. Obviously, it's named for Jim Valvano, who, had the famous speech about his cancer and how he's not going to give up and encouraging others not to give up. And I think that's an important lesson for all of us, is that no matter what your challenges are in life, to not give up and to keep persevering. And at the end of the day, you hope to be rewarded with your perseverance and overcoming stuff and things along those lines. But for Jim Abbott, I mean, if you ever watched him pitch, I mean, just it's crazy how he was able to do that. He was uber talented, and obviously could, he's left-handed. So when you're left-handed, and you can pitch, you get a little extra grace, but It's hard to do that with just one hand to make let alone two hands. To make
he didn't need any extra grace. He was a good pitcher.
Yeah, right. He was. But I mean, what I meant by that is, sometimes left-handers get a little bit. There's a little bit maybe longer rope, so to speak. If you can pitch because it's a hard position to fill, right?
Okay.
At least that's kind of what I'm thinking. That it's just a little bit more difficult. 6:38 this morning here on the morning drive. I guess this is good news for the Dallas Cowboys, and maybe he's happy. I don't know. I hope he's happy. But George Pickens is going to play this coming year. He'll be on a franchise tender. It's $27.3 million.
Which is a good chunk of change.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was expected.
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
No, I understand it was official yesterday because
that was the deadline.
Right.
Yes. Everybody said 2 months ago that this is what was going to be happening.
Sure.
Like when that story came out yesterday, I was like, yeah? Like the sun's going to come up tomorrow morning too. Do I need a story about that? Like that's how that story felt to me.
Okay, well, I didn't really take it like that. I was just like, okay, well, maybe he's happy.
Yeah. The other story that came out yesterday that I saw that I was also like, yeah, duh. Patrick Mahomes is trying to be ready for Week 1. We heard that at the end of last season. He was trying to be ready for Week 1. I get that it's a slow sports day, but now we're just rehashing stuff from 6 months ago.
Well, I mean, yesterday was the deadline, Jeff. It was 3:00 deadline yesterday, our time. And the Cowboys did not.
And they've had so many negotiations since they said they weren't having negotiations.
It feels like both sides are actually pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I think it feels like Pickens knows that 27 million puts him pretty good as far as wide receivers go. I think the Cowboys are basically saying we're all in on this season with Pickens. We don't plan to sign him next year, but we're all in on this year. And it feels like both sides, neither one of them are bothered by it.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Hopefully you have Pickens playing for a new deal with somebody else, right? And so he's playing his tail off, right?
He's motivated, yeah.
Yeah, and you're getting a great season out of him. I expect this Cowboys offense to be really good this year.
The thing about Pickens is he can make the crazy catches. Let's make the routine ones too. Because sometimes it feels like he takes a play off, and then it costs you.
Well, that sounds like every wide receiver in the history of ever.
It could be, yeah. Not to be Captain Obvious. So, sorry I ruffled your feathers.
You didn't ruffle my feathers as much as the story did.
Okay.
I'm like, really?
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Morning Drive, time for this day in history, sports history, and a little bit of history too. Today is Thursday, July the 16th, 2026. Here's Jeff McGuire.
It's actually a pretty big day in history.
Is it? Okay.
It is.
All right.
Major event happened that changed the planet forever.
Oh, this is, I think this is a launch of something.
Kind of.
Yeah.
1941, however, is where we will start.
Okay.
Joe DiMaggio goes 3 for 4.
He's still got his hit streak going?
56th consecutive game.
Oh, okay.
See, Chuck thinks that he knows what's going to happen tomorrow. What he doesn't know is that we've changed history. No. 1969, Minnesota Twins. Rod Carew steals home for his career best 7th time of the season.
Yeah,
this one against Chicago.
And he was with the Twins on this
correct,
one?
yes.
Yeah, okay. Because he also played for the Angels. But better known for the Twins.
But I'm again 7th time that season.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Stole home.
Yeah.
At some point, you might want to look at him. He was the 3rd. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, they weren't hitting. They weren't hitting as many home runs back then. So there was the opportunity to steal home was better.
1987. New York Yankees. Don Mattingly hits his 4th grand slam of the season.
Wow.
And ties an AL record of homers in 6 straight games. On his way to tie the major league record of 8.
I hope he gets to experience a World Series win as a manager. He's not even experienced one as a coach, has he? I don't think so.
2017. Kawhi Leonard re-signs with the San Antonio Spurs on a 5-year, $90 million contract.
Jump change now.
God, is that deal a mess with him and the Raptors and the Clippers, and boy, it is just an absolute dumpster fire.
I gotta be honest, I'm not really paying attention. I know that at one point the deal was voided because of his knee or something.
No, the deal's voided because the Clippers were giving him extra money beyond what they've disclosed.
So back to that deal.
It's back to that deal, and so it's on hold. And apparently, the investigation into what the Clippers was doing, it's gone a little bit deeper. Mattingly has never won a World Series title.
And in 2023, former Red Raider pitcher Daniel Colon gets his first save of the year for the O's in a 5-4 win over the Marlins. It is National Corn Fritter Day.
I'm out.
I don't know that I've ever actually had one.
I don't think I have.
Birthdays today: Will Ferrell, 59. Corey Feldman, 55. Carly Lloyd is 44. Barry Sanders, 58. And Micah Peavy is 25.
Okay.
And I hinted at this earlier. The world was forever changed on this day in 1945. Not just in that we can never go back kind of way, but physically changed. At 5:29:45 a.m., the Manhattan Project yield explosive results of the first atomic bomb is successfully tested in Alamogordo, New Mexico. The mushroom cloud that reached over 40,000 feet in the air released radioactive material that encircled the globe. That, by the way, can still be detected today in the air, in the soil, in the water. Now, don't worry about radioactive material everywhere, guys. Detectable does not mean dangerous. And, you've been living with it for almost all of your life. Or all of your lives, as the case may be. It's actually really cool on old shipwrecks. They can test the material inside the bottles for that air being different than the air that we're breathing now because of the radioactive material that's not in it.
Wow.
And this day in sports history.
That's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. Not. Have you seen the movie Oppenheimer?
Nope.
It is. I mean, and Jeff, you've seen it, right?
I have not.
You have. Oh, you would.
It's on my list to get to.
You would enjoy it. It's a very long movie.
Yeah, that's why I haven't gotten to it yet, because I'm afraid I'm going to get started at the wrong time and have to make it a 2-part.
I want to say it's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's worth.
I am very interested in watching it.
As someone who's,
I'm not afraid of a long movie.
As someone whose attention span is not very long, it captured my attention.
It's good. Yeah, it looks like a good movie.
Yeah. I saw this headline yesterday, and I immediately thought of our discussion previously on this. And I am not in any way making light of this. I'm just pointing out that this is why I'm not going to ever be involved in this kind of activity. 2 men were found dead in an East Fort Worth pond on Wednesday morning. They were kayaking.
Okay.
And the one was around 60 and one was around 20. They don't know what the factors were that led to this, but clearly the kayak overturned and they couldn't get it.
In a pond?
In a pond. I don't know how big it was. A private pond is what the Fort Worth Star-Telegram says.
I mean, in a pond, it's not like some massive waves came and knocked them over and held them down.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I suspect foul play.
Okay. Well, I
like some birds flew over. That's what I mean by foul.
And birds flew over. And they got scared, and then they one leaned too far to the right or to the left, and then the next thing you know, the thing was upside down, and they couldn't get out, and then they couldn't turn it back over.
How did both of them flip over?
I don't know, but I mean they were in the. I think it was a 2-man kayak, I guess probably.
Oh, a 2-man kayak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again.
Okay, so
another reason not to go kayaking.
Just so you know, 2 men died in a Fort Worth pond, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I don't know, 2 to 50 billion people per year get in a kayak and then they get back out. Okay. But 2 died in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's also people that die when they drive their cars. So
Sure.
you probably shouldn't get in a car today, Chuck. You should just walk.
No. Would take me.
You shouldn't fly somewhere because there's been plane crashes.
We got
a
lot of places to go today.
Yeah,
so
some people have tripped on on the sidewalk and fallen down, hit their head and died right then. So
right.
I don't know. You should have somebody carry you everywhere.
I don't know. People have been killed when they've been dropped before, so maybe you can't get carried either.
I don't know. Maybe pushed in a wheelchair all the time, Chuck. Maybe you should wear just a padded helmet all the time. Maybe
so. I am now especially careful when I walk out my back door so I don't trip over the door jamb.
Yeah.
I don't want to break
probably died wearing slides. So you should, or sliders.
Well, I'm banned from slides. Banned from words.
Banned by who?
My wife.
Oh,
okay. And also Lady Raider basketball. Banned. They.
How embarrassing.
They're banned from wearing slides. Like, you can't wear slides. What are you doing? You can't wear slides.
Again, I'll just go back to grown men should not show their feet in public unless they're on a beach.
Okay. You mean flip-flops?
Again. Nobody wants to see old man toes. They're gross.
Well, I mean, there's probably quite a lot of my body that nobody really wants to see.
Okay, you're on the beach.
Knees and toes.
You're on the beach. You're at a pool. Have at it,
mm-hmm.
man. If you're walking through the grocery store, cover those nasty things up, man. I mean, you want to talk about the stuff that's in the air from the mushroom bomb or whatever. I don't know what's coming from those toes, man. I'd stay out of my grocery store.
Okay.
Cover those bad boys up.
I don't think I've ever run into you at the grocery store of all my trips.
Because I don't go to the grocery store a lot.
I know, but you guys, I mean, the Lents go together, and then you guys.
Not very often. Not to the grocery store.
Sometimes you guys walk to the grocery store, right?
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walk a lot of places. Yeah.
Well,
that's why we don't see you.
6:55 this morning here on the good old morning drive. Thank you for being with us.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Good morning with Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. Thank you for being with us today. I saw this yesterday, and there's a couple things that are interesting in this. This is the coaching hot seat for 2026, okay? College football. So CBS Sports puts out this thing, they call it the hot seat rankings, okay? They evaluate the job security of all 138 FBS coaches, okay? So this year, according to their, quote, hot seat, 95 coaches have a hot seat score of under 2. The max is 5, okay? 47 of them are under 1, which is a massive increase compared to 28 last year. A number of coaches received zeros from the group, like Kirby Smart, Kurt Cignetti, Dan Lanning. They don't mention Joey McGuire, but you'd have to think that he's at pretty close to a 0 too, right? In terms of being on the hot seat.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Lose to ACU, that'll change.
They'll change, okay. So last year, only one coach earned a perfect 5.0 on the hot seat ranking and beat the odds and kept his job. Do you know who that? Would you like to take a guess who that was? You know this person.
Dave Aranda.
Nope.
Okay.
Sonny Cumbie.
Okay.
And so they went 8-5 last year. Brent Venables had the second hottest seat, and then he went to the college football playoff, and Brent Brennan also was on the hot seat, and they had a 9-win season at Arizona. So coaches that have a win or be fired rating of 5, there's only 3 coaches on that list. And on that list includes Dave Aranda at Baylor, Mike Norvell at Florida State, and maybe the only reason that Mike Norvell retained his job was just money. He has a buyout that's $50 million, I would
That'll
think,
do it.
I would think the buyout for coaches, that the coaches are going to start losing their leverage on that.
Maybe.
That schools and are going to go, well, there's no reason for us, unless you're like, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, why would you put yourself in that position? Given how things work, it's a player-led league, and it's always been, but now more so than ever, because the more that the boosters give, the better players that you're going to get. It's not necessarily about under-the-table money. This is just on top of the table money. Mm-hmm. Also on this list is Dave Aranda. This article says if Mack Rhodes hadn't been forced to retire, that Aranda likely would have been fired.
Maybe. I think there's a lot of people that believe that.
Instead, Aranda's entering an unlikely year 7 after a wildly disappointing 5-7 season. Baylor has had a losing season 4 times in the 6 years under Aranda. But they brought in a quarterback, DJ Lagway. Can he be enough to be the difference in Baylor?
I think that's $1 million question right there. If you get the DJ Lagway that the world thought we were going to see in college football, heading into college football, then Baylor is a real football team.
Okay.
If you get the DJ Lagway that you had last year at Florida, I think Baylor has a rough season.
And then the other guy that's on this hot seat is Luke Fickell. Wisconsin, in general, has largely admitted that the program was slow to adapt to the brave new world of NIL and the transfer portal. They say Fickell bears much of that responsibility. Wisconsin 16-21 under Fickell. They've won fewer games each season. Opening against Notre Dame won't be much fun.
Probably not.
Okay. So here's some other names that probably won't surprise you that are on this list. This is Mike Loxley, and it just seems like, he's fallen upward. He's at Maryland, and they're coming off of back-to-back 4-8 seasons. Shane Beamer, he's on the hot list. It feels like that South Carolina is almost done with the Beamer experience. Bill Belichick is on this list. It's stunning to see, first of all, him in college, and just with all the outside just stuff that this just feels very un-North Carolina-ish when you kind of think about the pedigree of their basketball program and what they've done, and even with Mac Brown, being at North Carolina, it's awkward and weird, right?
I thought it was awkward that they hired Bill Belichick to begin with.
Yeah, right. And it continues to be awkward. It's just like, what are you thinking? I mean, I know what you're thinking, but
you think he's the greatest NFL coach of all time, and you think, well, boy, he should be able to help us in North Carolina, but he wasn't really great at the end of his tenure, or things weren't going great at the end of his tenure. And he's also very surly, which you wouldn't think would work great when it came to recruiting.
Right, and just the general meet and greet, the radio show, the Tar Heel night, with Bill Belichick. Is he going to be warm and friendly? Talking to all the fans, glad hadden, having a beer with them, and sitting down and eating some barbecue with them, and no, that doesn't feel like that's a great fit there. Also on the list of the seat getting warmer is Lincoln Riley. It feels like that he's been given a lot there at USC. And the other thing you wonder is, why did he leave Oklahoma? I mean, was it really that bad at Oklahoma?
He left Oklahoma because he didn't want to go to the SEC.
Yeah.
Didn't think it was a very easy path to the college football playoff, and I think he thought it would be easier coaching USC in the Pac-12 and getting to the college football playoff.
Didn't really anticipate them going to the Big Ten.
Probably not.
Which is probably just as tough as going to the SEC, right?
I mean, last year it definitely was.
I mean, if you had your druthers, you'd probably would have druthers stayed in the Pac-12. And then Scott Satterfield is on this list too at Cincinnati. I don't think anybody's rooting for him around these parts, are they?
No.
I don't know if there's any UC fans in our audience, but they say that week 1 against Boston College is a must-win.
Okay.
And the former NFL coach Bill O'Brien, he's the head coach of Boston College, and he's also on the hot seat. And they play Notre Dame, Miami, Duke, SMU, Georgia Tech, and Cincinnati. So, kind of feels like that. Year 3 for him might be it in college football.
Maybe.
Going back,
being in the ACC gives them a shot to have a winning season, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a program that's on the rise by any stretch of the imagination.
It didn't feel like Boston College is any kind of bastion, of college football. Kind of like Maryland. Maryland more known for being a basketball school. It just kind of makes you wonder. Of course, the reason you want to be good in football is because that's where the money is. But sometimes when you have an identity of being a basketball school or being an egghead school, trying to be a sports school is going to be tough.
An egghead school.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really see Harvard and Princeton trying to be big-time football programs. I mean, they know who they are. Princeton knows they're a basketball school. Going to run their weave and their, stuff like that.
It's backdoor cuts, too.
They're backdoor cuts, yeah.
That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, so I was trying
backdoor
to get
cuts.
I was trying to get to the backdoor cuts. I didn't have that vernacular down in my brain. But yeah, I mean,
and that's the Lady Raider color analyst right there, folks.
Right, that's right. I'm telling you, man.
It's off season, man. He didn't have to have his terms down.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Crack me up, Heinz. There's so many sayings that my father used to use, or my grandfather. I mean, you guys know about my upbringing. I had great parents, and that were married until my father passed away, and was close to my grandfather and all that. Mm-hmm. Awesome people. That
the good shoes, you should buy it.
Yeah, that have taught me so many things and shaped me. Okay. And then there are also things like many of us in life where we're just like our dad, or we're just like our grandfather or whatever, or a mom, whatever. Mm-hmm. But we go the exact opposite.
Oh, okay.
And there's so much with them that I've also gone the exact opposite on. But there are so many sayings that ring in my head when you just promote something that's coming up. There's so many sayings that are ringing in my head about what my dad, who used much, much, much more colorful language than I do, specifically that I would use on the radio. Uh-huh. So many things that my dad would have said that would have been funny, but very inappropriate.
Okay.
And the situation that you just mentioned is like, there's a bunch of them bouncing around. Yeah. Is there things in your life where you have gone exactly the opposite of the way your family?
Yeah, probably some things. Yeah. Probably some things.
Like there's things where you're like, hey, I want to be just like my dad, or you're like, hey, I am not going to do it like that.
Yeah.
That's. So I would guess it was like 80-20, like, hey, I want to be like my dad, but there was 20% where it's like, I will never act like that. Yeah. I will never do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess with I would tell you my 21-year-old would say 80-20 dad. My 18-year-old would say 10-90. 10-90. The opposite way.
Going opposite. Yeah. Okay.
And by the way, she's the one that's just like me.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, back to question of the day.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, you just you tickled me with with your preview. That's coming up at 8. Yeah. I'm looking forward to using all of my dad's terms.
Okay.
Get ready to put your hand on the beep button there, Jeff. Okay. All right, so this one is completely wide open. There are no wrong answers.
I love
But
that.
none of the answers can involve Texas Tech. I want you to tell me 3 things that you want to see happen in the Big 12 between now and the end of the Big 12 season. 3 things that you want to see that involve the Big 12.
I want to see Texas Tech go 12-0. I want to see. I wasn't supposed to say Texas Tech, was I?
Did not say
I'm
it
sorry.
can't involve Texas Tech.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I did say that. Did I say it, Jeff?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Because we all want Texas Tech to win all the games
Right.
and be the greatest thing ever.
Okay. Sorry. I wasn't listening. Hey, at least I admit it, right?
Oh, goodness.
At least I admit it. I did a full disclosure. I didn't hear
I wasn't listening.
you. I wasn't listening.
Why am I asking the question
I
then
don't
if you're
know.
not
I'm
going to
sorry.
listen?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What were you
I'm sorry.
checking out a Facebook post?
No, I
what
just
were we
was.
doing?
I just checked. I just was checked out for a second there. When I heard you, when I got excited in my brain when you said there's no wrong answer, and then I gave you one. Okay. How about this? I want TCU to go 0-12.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. I want Eric Morris to have success, just not against us. Okay. I want nothing. I want no success whatsoever for Kansas State.
Okay. 3 good answers. All right, there we go.
It took us to the third one to get no success for Kansas State from Chuck.
All right.
Yeah.
I started off, the 2 purple teams. Can't say 0-12 for everybody, Jeff.
No.
That texter pointing out clearly I was wrong. There is indeed a wrong answer.
All right, number 1, I want to see a second Big 12 team make the college football playoff.
Okay, I like that one.
I would prefer it to be BYU over, I think, anybody else, but I would like a second team. I would like Texas Tech to have a running mate when it comes to getting to the college football playoff. Number 2, Chuck already mentioned this, but I would like Eric Morris to have some success at Oklahoma State. Notice I didn't say a lot. Some.
Yeah.
He's our guy. He's their coach, but he's our guy, and I like good things for our guys. And the third thing I would like to see in the Big 12 is as a conference to gain some respect on the football field, whether it be just the second team in the college football playoff or maybe 3 or 4 teams competing for that second spot in the college football playoff by the time the end of the year rolls around, so that it's not just look at the Big 12. No, hey, look over what the Big 12 is doing. They're playing some good football over there. That would be nice to see as a conference.
Okay, first, number 1, and number 1 by a long shot. I want to hear the Big 12 announce that there are no sanctions or fines or anything to Texas Tech. I think this is just going to go away, which keeps the Big 12 from acting like they were, we weren't in the wrong by saying we were going to sue them or we were going to put penalties on them if they played them, and there still may be penalties or whatever. So that's number 1 for me, okay? I want them to publicly state we are not doing anything to Texas Tech, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, I want TCU to be very mid, okay? I don't want them to be horrible because I don't want Dykes to get fired, but I want them to be very mid. Okay, just middle of the pack, whatever. That'd be great. And number 3, I'm so tired of his smugness. I want Satterfield to get fired.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think he absolutely knew a ton. And I absolutely think that he should be facing some sort of punishment, and Cincinnati should as well. But I want him to get fired because I don't think they're going to face any punishment.
I think it might be easier to win a Big 12 championship than to not get sanctioned or expect those fines.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
8:15 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. We'll have End of the Bench at 9 this morning on 100.7 The Score. You get their perspective on things. At high noon, it's The Bottom Line, also on 100.7 The Score, and their perspective on things. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, it's Tech Talk with Clint Scott and Mike Gustafson, although I think Clint's out this week. So
he's back today.
He's back today, okay? Get their perspective on things, okay?
Gus's show.
Gus's show. A lot of perspectives on things, okay?
That's good.
Everybody's got their own perspective on things.
Makes it more fun that way.
Yeah, right. If we all had the same damn opinion, it would be pretty boring.
It would be very boring.
Okay, I saw this last night, and this is just going to make your head spin. The 2026 NBA Summer League is going on right now, okay? And the second line of this story is, try your best to make an NBA team. When that doesn't work out, use July as a springboard to head back to college basketball. Is this allowed? That's a question. Of course not. Okay. So, but there's a number of coaches and people within the, quote, college basketball industry that think this could happen. Agents of some players on summer league rosters have been touching base with high major coaching staffs, getting temperature checks on roster situations, and asking if they'd be interested in adding a 21 or 22-year-old later this offseason if the opportunity presented itself. Okay?
Okay.
So, the 5-for-5 thing is a very real deal, right? That's going to take effect next month. So starting with the 2026-2027 season, all athletes will have 5 years to play as many as 5 seasons, okay? But there's a pool of players from the 25-26 class that want their super senior season as well. So you've had lawsuits in Ohio, Georgia, Tennessee, California, and probably there's going to be more. So one Big Ten coach said, it's insane that we're sitting here on July 11th and you don't know who's eligible and who's not eligible. One NBA source said, I don't even know why you'd sign an Exhibit 10 contract, citing the lowest level NBA deal that offers the least amount of money and protection, doesn't clear $200,000 for first-year players. Another source said it would be stupid for any agent to advise any player not guaranteed to make more than $500,000 to sign an NBA deal before thoroughly vetting out trying to bully their way back into college basketball. So there was a Big 12 coach that was quoted in this article, not by name, just a Big 12 coach, said, ask any coach here, not one of them will tell you it's how they want it to be. We want this option taken away from us, but if the opportunity is there, am I not supposed to listen? If I can make my team better, don't I have to try and do it? So it's going to be really interesting to see if these court cases hold up and they're able to get the injunction to hold. And could some of these guys from 25-26 get the opportunity to go back to college? I mean, it's not been officially announced, but I mean, there's so much flame around. It's not even smoke; it's flame. Darion Williams has been in Lubbock apparently since May, practicing with the team. I've not seen it personally, but I've heard it from several different people. And so, is the possibility of him playing for Texas Tech? Well, I mean, I guess if they figured out a way for these guys from 25-26, sure, I guess it is. Anything's possible. You hear the talk about Momo Faye, but then the other talk that you hear is he going to be, can they get him eligible? And that's a real deal too.
What's the eligibility issue?
I don't know what the specifics are to it. But that's what I've heard is that there's
it's like an academic thing.
I don't think it's an academic thing. I think it's more of a this is just what I've heard, okay? And I'm not substantiated. I'll just tell you what I've heard. That there's a possibility that he made too much money. I don't know how much money playing professionally where he's been playing. And I don't know, and there may be, I don't know if it's an eligibility deal or a money deal, but there's just question as to how much time he would have left. So I don't know when his clock started and how much, and can they get him eligible? So that there's apparently a question about that. Now it could come out today and they could say that Momo Fay is signed, sealed, and delivered to Texas Tech. But just from what I've heard, there's a question that because it's not been announced yet. So,
no, it has not, and we did expect it to be after June ended.
Yeah.
That was supposedly when his league ended and he was not under contract anymore or whatever.
The playoffs were going to be over with and all that. This article goes on to say, for now, a lot seems to hinge on the eligibility lawsuit out of Ohio, where 15 players were granted an injunction by a Hamilton County judge whose ties to Xavier and Cincinnati have come under fire, okay? Much like what we had here. Even though it wasn't a local judge. It was declared a local judge, but it wasn't a local judge. That injunction is up for a case hearing in August. If the plaintiffs win and the players are awarded a bonus year, it will be open season on hundreds of players to return to college basketball next year. If it gets shot down, that would be a huge win for the NCAA, but won't necessarily stop the flow of lawsuits, just waiting for one shot to break the dam. Well, what do we know about the NCAA attorneys? They've been terrible. The NCAA has been terrible in court. Yep. They've not been able to hold their muster at all, whether they've been prepared or ill prepared or they just don't have the side of law on their side.
Yeah, I think that you're making a good point there. I think Choice was making the same thing yesterday, and that you just expect these things to pass because the NCAA has just been so bad at winning these suits, whether that be because their lawyers aren't good or because they didn't have a good case. But obviously there have been plenty of times when we thought they did have a good case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Would you really like D5 to get another year of eligibility? It's clearly different than the Sorsby thing. Yeah, the Sorsby thing it's completely different. But there's still that stink on Texas Tech. I would think that you would tell D5, sorry, man. I have
no issue with D5 getting another year of eligibility. I just don't want it to be here.
Yeah. So, look, I am not inside the circle at Texas Tech men's basketball. So that I don't know what's going to happen there.
More importantly, you are in the morning drive circle.
I'd like to think I am.
You are definitely in the circle.
On a side note, Mr. B asked this question. I think the question he wants to ask is, does Stephanie, our 7-footer, make the trip with the Lady Raiders in August? No, she will not. That's my belief. That's as best as I understand it, that she will not, because that would cause her to leave the country, and then she would have to go back to be able to re-enter. So, So my understanding is that's why if she'd made the Nigerian basketball team, then it would have opened up her visa. I mean, she's not the only player that you've had play internationally that has had some visa issues. A number of years ago, Lady Raiders had a player that went home for Christmas and they couldn't get her back in the country.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so
wasn't that long ago, was it?
I think it was Candy Whitaker era.
Yeah, I mean, so within 10 years or
I know,
so.
But I mean, but that's just, it seems like a lifetime ago.
When you say number 3 times, that makes me think it was in the 70s.
Oh, no. Yeah. It was I think it's the Candy Whitaker era or her replacement mid-season. Anyway. It's just, let's see, instead of the circle, can we call it the morning drive cul-de-sac?
I'm okay with it.
I think if I
feel like there's a hidden shot there, which is kind of fun.
On the cul-de-sac thing?
The cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I think there's a shot there.
Yeah, which is kind of fun,
Yeah.
but I'm good with it.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.